This is Drayton with Specialties, and today we are going back to the whiteboard. And in this one, I am going to be talking about how I prepared to throw. In particular, this one right here is going to be whenever I was actually in high school, so the 4 years from about 2011 to 2014. So I was one of those guys who pitched year-round, basically January through October. If it was time to play, I was playing, whether it be high school ball or tournament ball to fall ball. If I was in there, I was playing and I was throwing. So basically, now that we've gone through that, my warm up. So, and like I said, this is basically what happened all year. So we would have our group stretches. Everybody knows team goes out, get in a circle. You know, you have your arm circles, touching your toes, stuff like that. So we would do that basically every day, and couldn't really get away from it. Coach made us do it, so we had to do it. Next, I actually did have a little bit of time, most of the time, to kind of go out and do my own thing. Basically, I had a set of tubing that I got here at Specialties my sophomore year, and so I would do that quite a bit. And also, I was a pretty big runner back then. I did a lot pregame running. Basically, I thought it was just a way to get my body ready to go, and that's basically what I did. So I would pitch, starting pitcher, relief, whatever. After the game, I iced. It was something that I was told to do, and so I did it. So if it was in high school ball, as soon as we left the dugout to go back to the locker room, I had some sort of ice on my arm, whether it be elbow or shoulder. It was on there, and I didn't really know anything. It was just basically what they told me to do, so I did it. And basically whenever, so that was with actual high school ball. If I was in travel ball, fall ball, summer ball, basically I would do it as soon as I got home. I knew that if I did it in high school, why not do it whenever I'm away from the school? So I did that, and like I said, it was all year. So, and one thing I didn't mention before, but I did go through a lot of arm pain. So basically, it was just a full cycle of arm pain every time I threw. We would do the warm up, throw, ice, and it was just the continuum of it. I had a lot of shoulder issues and elbow issues that I never could seem to get away with. I just knew if I wanted to play, I'd have to push through it. So I never said anything and just went on about my business. But I know that's going to be the top part. But basically from here, this is what I would have done differently from what I actually did do, knowing what I know now as opposed to then. First of all, I would not have played all year. That was, I think, that was probably one of my largest detriments, and probably one of the reasons I did continue to play. Basically, not playing all year would have allowed me to have training seasons in there, development times, time to get better. If I wanted to improve on velocity, actual mechanics, so maybe even to try to prevent some of the arm pain that did happen. So I definitely would have used that time to get better and hopefully healthier in there. Next, I would have had a ramp up period. So like I said, not playing all year, I would have probably still done, obviously, the high school ball, so that's spring. We're in Texas, so January through about May, June sometimes. So in there, and then maybe a little bit of summer ball, but other than that, so end of summer to fall, that would be my training. And maybe if I needed a little bit of a rest period, I would have taken it, but I would have at least given myself somewhere between about a 10, 12 weeks, just kind of depending on where I was at, of a ramp up period to actually get myself ready to throw again, to actually not start off cold. We know that that's a lot of times basically where pitchers, they will have most of their injuries earlier in the season because they're basically just not ready to go. So I would have given myself plenty of time to actually get myself ready to throw a full season, and to be able to exert myself as much as possible with that. The next thing I would have done is I would have spent a lot of time working on ways to prevent arm pain and to solve why basically I was having so much pain. Going back and looking at videos, I know now I had pretty bad stuff, but um, basically I would have figured out how to not have arm pain instead of learning how to throw new pitches. That was always something that I was doing, whether it be learn how to throw splitters, weird breaking balls, or whatever. Um, you don't need all that. So basically, I would have learned how to get myself healthy instead of learning new pitches. Next, to help me with all of these, the first three here, there's a few tools that I would have definitely had if I would have known about them at the time. First, the connection ball and the connector throwing club. I had a lot of arm issues, and I think it was a lot of because of my arm action. I was way outside of 90 and all kinds of other stuff along with that. And I think using those, and I honestly don't even think it would have really taken that long, maybe a couple of months, I could have really seen drastic improvements. Next, I would have had the baseball training sock. It would be something that I could throw literally wherever I was at. And quite honestly, it probably would have assisted with some of the shoulder issues that I had. Next, shoulder tube. So it would have been something that I could have really used prior to pitching, really to get my shoulder, and quite honestly, I've seen it used to where you can really get most of your upper body prepared. And knowing what I know now as opposed to what I didn't know then, honestly, I think would have definitely prolonged my career, and a lot of the stuff that I was doing, I really do think that I was shortening it. So that's basically what I would have done different.